I'm Peter Michaels. It's Friday CRAFTernoons again at Beau's Barn Stage, and the very familiar, lovely face of Adam from Snake Lake is back. Bet you love being called lovely.
Hey, man, it's better than the alternative.
I'm sure there's worse things that have been said. Okay, so we've got a new Snake Lake seasonal that we're going to dig into, and it seems like Saisons are a popular choice for you guys for brewing.
Yeah, they're a seasonal choice, that's for sure. Our brewer Taco, as you know, he likes to experiment with Saisons. There's lots of different varieties and stuff you can do with them. They're a nice base to start with to kind of spin off and try different styles and make something, I don't know, a little cool, a little out there, and still keep it fairly mild and drinkable.
I was going to say, and typically this is an approachable beer. For somebody that maybe might be new into craft beer, a Saison is typically something that...
Well, a traditional Saison is. That's a Belgian style. That's I mean... Saison's been compared to like cilantro a lot. Like either like it or you don't. Like it's a style of yeast that kind of changes the flavor a little bit. Some people get bubble gum off of it, but this also is not. This is complex because we've also added Brett into it. So Brettanomyces also the characteristics that come off it are a lot different than just a traditional Saison yeast.
Okay.
So there's 3 strains of Brett. There's the Saccharomyces, the Saison yeast that we've got in here. So you get that Belgian flair, but the Brett basically dries it out, takes away a lot of the other things that the Saccharomyces don't eat. Similar to stuff we've done in the past. Like Brett beers are cool. They've been around for a while, and it's definitely a very complex like beer style, and we like playing with it. Like I'm stoked about this one because it's got some cool ingredients. Like we put rose hips in this, which give it a lot of a floral, almost a fruity note to the Saison, which is a little bit different than stuff we've done in the past, as well as the wheat and the spelt. Like spelts are like almost an old form of wheat. Like it's a different style. Those two combined gives you this mouthfeel that goes along with it, and it just changes the characteristics of it.
Well,
Makes it. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
We're going to find out right here.
All right, cheers.
Right. Cheers to Friday CRAFTernoons. There's definitely that floral, you're right, that floral aroma hits you kind of.
Coming off the rose hips.
Totally.
This was a collaboration brew we did with Iron Road out of Kamloops. So Octavio Taco, he flew down to, or drove down to Kamloops and brewed this beer there. They came up with the recipe, collaborated, made this beer there, which turned out amazing.
Yeah.
And then came back, brought the recipe, and we brewed the exact same batch here. And this is the product of it.
See, I'm going to challenge you a little bit on that. I think that is a very approachable beer for somebody that might be just getting into things.
I mean, like I say, Saisons are hit or miss. This is a exceptional Saison.
This is definitely a hit.
Yeah.
And this is probably the most pronounced kind of that floral kind of flavor that hits you with that.
It bounces around with all the other stuff. Like it works with the bread. It works with the Saison yeast. It works with the wheat. Like the rose hips are cool. And when he was originally bringing those in and going to throw them in, I'm like, what are you doing? I remember seeing those in a bush as a kid, and I'm like, don't eat those. Those are the worst. I knew my grandma made like rose hip tea or something out of them. But this is the best use of rose hips that I've seen.
All right, and available on tap here at Beau's, and you guys have that out of the tap house in Sylvan as well?
Of course. Yeah, you betcha. We've got a good supply of it. It's only on tap. It's not in cans. Our next season will be out in cans. We're shooting for that, so that's coming too. And then, we're just going to go from there.
I like letting you talk, and I'll just keep going on this. This is